What's poppin', everyone? You got your coach of the Chim Chargers here today for our Week 10 team builder of the WBE, and we're going to be taking on gameboyluke, who's the coach of the Bristol City Blazikens. He has a team of Zygarde 50, Nihilego, Greninja, Rotom Heat, Scrafty, Vanillux, Megastelix, Necrozma, Whimsicott, Seismitoad, and a Swellow. So this should have already appeared to your right. And he's also got the Poison EMZ Z-Crystal that he's drafted, so it can kind of be applied to mons such as Nihilego's Poison Stab moves, or even Greninja's Gunk Shot perhaps. And this is also Torrent Greninja, by the way, not Protean, so it's not too much of a threat in terms of the difference between Protean and Torrent, but it can still be really fast. It can hit with its coverage moves, a lot of good coverage moves, and it can also kind of have some good utility with Spikes and T-Spikes, so something we still have to watch out for, of course. And I guess also the Poison EMC can apply to maybe like D-Dan Scrafty with Poison Jab. That's another option right there for him. But yeah, so I think looking at his team, actually he has a couple elements from some past teams that we've seen, right? Like for instance, Zygarde 50 Necrozma Whimsicott was Joey's past GBA team, last season GBA team for Joey, and then like Nihilego Greninja Scrafty, right, was Chimpax last season. So he's channeling the power of these two players to try to beat me. Definitely can respect that for sure. Yeah, I think he's also doing pretty well in the league right now. I think he's somewhere in the top like 8 or 4 or something in terms of the playoff race. So I think he's also kind of up there in this league, I think. So we definitely have to we definitely have to prepare for this match here, and I'm expecting him to bring something like Zygarde 50, Nihilego, Necrozma. I think will be his like 3 biggest offensive threats that he'll probably want to bring. I can see Greninja making an appearance. Whimsicott, Seismitoad, definitely mons that could also show up, because Whimsicott can do well versus checking Suicune and Lati for like encoring them into setup, or just because of the Grass Fairy coverage that it gets. And Seismitoad being a good stealth rocker for his team with Water Absorb can also show up, I guess. So yeah, so I think, and I guess special mention to Rotom Heat and Scrafty, which also can potentially show up as well. Scrafty being a dark type, good versus Lati. But yeah, so let's just get right into it. So I started off with an Abomasnow. Reason is because I think Abomasnow kind of puts in some work versus his team, especially if I'm AV, right? So I've calced it to be able to live a Specs Sludge Wave from Nihilego, which is pretty amazing, I'd say, and Oko it back with Earthquake, which is nice. And I'm running a soundproof set just because I am running an Unaware Moonlight set in the back, and that's kind of weather dependent, so I don't want the hail to negatively impact that, which is why I'm running a soundproof set. And soundproof can actually be useful because he has a Pokemon like Swellow, which can potentially come with like its Peck's Boomburst, perhaps could be an option for him. So we have to I figure that tech could be useful versus Pokemon such as that. But yeah, like the Ice Beam Giga Drain, right? Ice Beam hitting Pokemon like Zygarde 50 and Whimsicott and Swellow and all that kind of stuff, and then Giga Drain hitting Seismitoad and Greninja and things like that. So I think like the AV can really help me to sponge a lot of special hits. Like for instance, even from Greninja, as long as it doesn't have like Gunk Shot or something, because it's Torrent, it'll be doing like some kind of less damage, but it can still hit decently hard for sure. But yeah, so like Earthquake, like I said, hits Nihilego and Ice Shard for priority, maybe versus to like a weakened Swellow or something. But I think Abomasnow is cool. Like I've been bringing it a lot to many different games. It's been putting in work as a tier 5 mon in this league. I think it's one of the ones that have been putting in the most work in each week this season. So next we have here a Suicune, which is and like the reason I brought Suicune was because one of the MVPs of like the testing that I've done with this team, and it's just such a great mon overall. It can put in so much work versus his team. It has the EVs that it has, and 236 HP and 36 defense allow it to never get its sub broken by Earthquake from Seismitoad, assuming that it's it just invested in defense and stuff. So that can be really useful to get behind a sub and have Seismitoad just not break our sub, which is going to be great. And I'm running Ice Beam on this set because of the fact that I want to be able to at least have something to hit Seismitoad neutrally, and it can hit Whimsicott super effectively, which is amazing. Something that I really needed, especially for a Suicune that's trying to set up. I don't want to get encored by Calm Mind or sub, so Whimsicott, if it's there, it will get hit by Ice Beam pretty hard. So that'll be nice, just to go for that, expecting it to come in or something. And yeah, just dump the rest into speed so that I can get off some faster subs, maybe versus like Seismitoad, just to make sure that I don't, get toxic or anything. So that's why I have that. So next I got here a Alolan Muk. So let's talk about this. Actually, let's talk about these two Pokemon here. Two dark types, right? So we got Alolan Muk and Mandabuzz. So I think you know, I wanted to bring two dark types just because I know how powerful Necrozma can be with Calm Mind, Iron Defense's Stored Power. I've used it before in my last Showdown Live, so I know the power of Necrozma. So I wanted to bring two dark types just because, you know, just to control that a little bit better. And okay, so let's talk about Muk. Muk can pursue trap Pokemon like Nihilego, and you know, because it can eat up Sludge Waves and Power Gems and stuff like that pretty easily with its bulk. You know, I'm running the ultimate Emvee spread here, and yeah, so I think it can pursue trap that. It can also help me out versus, like I said, Necrozma perhaps. Whimsicott as well. You know, it can help Whimsicott. It can also kind of check Swellow to an extent. So you know, with its bulk that it has, and the berry can restore its HP back when it gets low. Can also kind of check Greninja too. Can take hits from that decently well. And yeah, I think he's a great mon overall. It can absorb T-Spikes from potentially Greninja. So, or even Nihilego, right? Because he has options for T-Spikes with Nihilego too. So I think Muk was just great to bring in that regard. And then I have here a Mandabuzz. So Mandabuzz, it really helps out a lot, I think, in terms of hazard control, which I figured I'd want to bring because he has the potential for rocks from Nihilego and Seismitoad, and Necrozma even, spikes from Greninja, and T-Spikes from like Nihilego and Greninja and stuff. So yeah, I think Defog is going to be nice. I think overall, I definitely needed that. And it can also, like, I guess Mandabuzz Rocky Helmet, you already know, can help me check mons like maybe like Guts boosting Swallow, or even like it can help. It can still check Zygarde pretty well too. Like it'll eat up 1,000 arrows, I'm sure. You know, with its max defense, so that'll be nice there. And other than that, I think it's pretty good overall versus his team. So we can talk about the last 2 months. I decided to bring a Mega Latias here because of the fact that it can take hits really well from like Rotom. It's a really good Rotom check. I switched into that, and it can also help out versus Nihilego because it can eat up hits really well from that Pokemon and Calm Mind and Roost and whatnot. Stored Power set, classic set, you already know. It can boost over like Necrozma, I'm pretty sure, and Stored Power I think it will be a 2-hit KO, while Necrozma Stored Power probably won't be, I'm pretty sure, because of how much more bulk we have in terms of Mega Latias, you already know. So yeah, I think the set here, like I opted to run like Ice Beam and stuff on both my setup sweepers, on Ice Beam on Suicune and Ice Beam on Lati, just because of like that Whimsicott being able to encore and stuff. So I wanted something to hit that really well. Ice Beam can also help versus Zygarde too. Versus Zygarde, you know, that Pokemon can definitely be a threat. So I want to be sure that I can beat that. I guess as easily as I can, you know, with Ice Beam and whatnot. Stored Power hits everything pretty hard versus his team, but we just gotta watch out for his dark types, like for instance Greninja and Scrafty. So leads me to my last Pokemon, which is gonna be Clefable. Having the Fairy typing can help me out to check Scrafty and beat that really well with the Kabaya Berry. So Kabaya Berry is interesting, right? He has Poisonium Z, and he has the option for a lot of good poison coverage to beat Clefable. So I figure the Kabaya Berry will be useful in that regard because it can help me take a poison hit that I need to. For instance, from Nihilego, I can Calm Mind if he brings that in, tries to attack me with a poison move. I have a Kabaya Berry Psyshock, so I can beat that down. And then maybe like I don't know, maybe a Dragon Dance Scrafty with Poison Jab or Z Poison Jab or something, right? He goes for D-Dance as I bring it in. I'm unaware, by the way, so that I can actually deter setup sweep from mons like Zygarde, Scrafty, and Necrozma, like versus yeah. But I guess on the topic of Scrafty, he D-Dances up, goes for a Z Poison move. I take that, I go for a Moonblast, knock him out, and then Necrozma, right? So like versus Necrozma, unaware Clef with Calm Mind wins the Calm Mind war and beats it 1v1, which is great because you already know the power of Stored Power. The power of Stored Power. It just sets up and it can hit really hard with Stored Power, but with unaware Clefable with Calm Mind, it can set up over that and knock it out with Moonblast before Stored Power does any significant damage. So it's gonna be really nice overall, I think, versus his team. And that's about it. So like overall, I think our team's pretty solid. I think it can put in work versus his team, and yeah, I think like we're pretty much guaranteed the playoffs at this point. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I do play him in a little bit. Like this is a bit of a late upload just because of I think his schedule and whatnot. So it's not a problem, of course. I'm gonna be playing him right after this. So and then uploading it the following day. I think I'm getting up my APA game in a little bit as well. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Let me know what you guys think, of course. And yep, the match should be going up tomorrow. I think hopefully 24 hours from this video. Whenever I upload this, should be yeah, 24 hours from this video. So I'll see you guys then. Don't think I really missed anything, but yeah, it's gonna be it. So I'll see you guys on the next video, and peace.